I've been on the road, I've been doing shows. Now we eating steak, remember sleeping on the floor. We stillin' at the gas station when the time was cold. In the kitchen, hot still trying to flip it out the stove. Rockin' fake J's, praying that nobody know.
Well, hello, you little Erick and Bradsters out there. Welcome back for the 66th time. If you've been here 66 times, congratulations. I'd be proud if you're here 66 times in a row. It is a beautiful Saturday. Really is. Is it ever going to rain around here? I don't think so. I think global warming has really taken effect because we're out of rain now. We're just out of rain. No more rain. Well, it's episode 66. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm having a great day. Is Brad having a good day?
I'm having a good day.
Brad's having a great day. Let's get this thing started.
Woohoo!
Mexicans. Okay, let's talk about it. Just kidding. What's going on?
I can't believe it's Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend marks the end of summertime, basically, you know? Kids are back in school. Summertime is over. It's time to, stop hanging around with all the girls at the beach and just lock yourself down with one chick for wintertime. It's getting to that time, you know what I mean? Summertime parties are now behind us, and now it's time to begin the slow, spiraling, deep descent into the darkness.
Fuck you, man. I hate it. Summers go by so fucking quick, and spring, fall, and winter just take so goddamn long to get through all of it.
I feel like I was just thinking Labor Day, just seemed like forever away. And now it's 2 days from now.
Hey, dude, I don't know because my audio sounds fucking weird because I'm running output on that thing, but I know my audio is good. Is there anything going on with your audio, or am I just hearing something weird?
No, there shouldn't be.
We can edit it out. I don't know. You sound like I do on that with this kind of tin canny.
Okay, you sound the same to me, and I sound the same to me. Over here.
So, okay, we're good. We'll just go with it. And if something's wrong, it's totally going to be your fault. So
that's usually the conversation that happens before a bunch of technical difficulties happen. Does it sound different now?
It does.
I did that original sound thing on Zoom. I just clicked it. Maybe that's what you're used to. That's all I just did right there.
Okay, sweet. Rock and roll.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I just didn't want there to be a problem and then waste a shitload of time.
Now I'm worried.
So, how'd the week go? How'd Brad week go?
Not good.
Not good?
Yeah.
Let's hear it. Let me hear it, and then go as hard as you can and make it as shitty as you can, and then I got something that's just going to destroy you. But go ahead.
No, you don't. You don't. No, you don't. You don't. You don't have anything that can destroy me. First of all, wait. Before we get into that, I made a
let's
clip.
Let's take bets. Do you want to bet on it?
I'll bet on it.
$5 bet? $5
Yeah,
bet? Okay. Here's the deal. We have to... Okay. We want an answer from Kayla, and we want an answer from Thor. You guys got to vote on it. After you listen to this episode, you guys need to vote who had the worst week. Okay? And the winner out of those will be the judges. Winner gets $5. You down? You can cash app that shit to me, son.
Do you already know about my week?
I don't. And I don't think you know about my week either. So
no, I don't know nothing.
The shit's about to get into. Is this a good bet? Are we good?
Yeah, that's fine. If you would have said 50, I would have said no. But $5 is fine.
Where do you draw the line? 25?
No, probably 20.
Okay, you want to do 20?
No. Look, okay. Before that, though, hang on. I gotta go. But if I bounce around my list, I have to go one at a time. So, I made a.
You wrote down how shitty your week was, thing by thing.
Yeah. No, this is unrelated. I made a clip for the Nirvana Baby and a clip for the 100th Monkey from a long time ago. So I made those two clips.
Wait, you told me to make that a clip, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna do it this weekend.
It's okay.
But okay, sweet.
I've been wanting to make the 100th monkey thing that I did a clip for a while, so I was like, I'll just do both at the same time. And then, for the longest time, since probably around October 7th, 2020, our most viewed video was Andre Chikatilo, a serial killer. It is no longer the most viewed video. It is by a long shot. Cheech and Chong is at over 2,100 views.
Nice.
And it's getting like 50 a day. It's crazy.
That's fantastic. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. And like someone commented bait and switch thumbnail. I'm like, I know it's a bait and switch thumbnail.
Yeah. That's how you do that.
Yeah, just because it's a clip of them in the car, so people are looking for the actual thing. Whatever.
He gave you a comment or compliment.
Oh, okay. Anyway, that's pretty crazy that thing skyrocketed past Andre Chikatilo. My computer said high performance issues, so hopefully I'm not skipping out right now.
Yeah, you're good on Zoom, but your pixel quality seems real low right now.
Oh, great.
Are you plugged into the internet?
Yeah.
Okay.
God damn it. So, okay. This week it was Tuesday, which I go back to work on Wednesdays, okay? So Tuesday is like my, day to get ready to go back to work on Wednesday. Get groceries, get everything ready to go, stuff like that. Move vehicles around. Anyway. So, Tuesday, driving to the grocery store, buy a bunch of groceries, drive over to this other place to buy food as like a treat for myself because it's the fucking day before I go back to work for 8 days. And this is like a shopping center with a big parking lot. And in this parking lot, there's like an intersection, which had a 4-way intersection in this shopping plaza parking lot. And the intersection has like curbs around the 4-way intersection inside the shopping plaza with like sidewalks on it and stuff. So I pull in and I'm driving through this 4-way intersection. There's a white big ass GMC Yukon XL coming towards me. Not like in my lane, like they're coming towards me, I'm coming towards them. As we pass each other in the middle of the 4-way intersection, I'm going fine. I'm not texting. Everything's good. The person's passing me. As soon as their bumper, which is like at my eye level in my Subaru, and their big ass fucking SUV thing, as the bumper sort of passes me, I get the sense that they're starting to turn. And the only thing I could have done was veer right and get on and go up the curb into the sidewalk. But there was like such little time. I get the sense they're starting to turn, and you have no time to think, and all I think was there's no way they're gonna hit me, because people don't hit people. You just have a lot of sort of close calls in your life, not actual impact. And then before I know it, bam, fucking hit me right in my car. Crunch, bam, crash. Into the tire, into the rear door, into the quarter panel above the tire. Bang, hit me. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now, dude? I just had $11,000 worth of hail damage repaired on the car, and it's like a brand new car now. And this is happening at fucking 3 o'clock on a Tuesday? Like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, I just say out loud, are you fucking kidding me right now? And I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and they're not getting out yet, and I'm not, and I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And then they get out, and it's this woman, kind of shortish blonde hair, short woman, and then I open my door.
What does that have to do with anything?
No, I was just telling the whole story. And I'm just saying, and she's just like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. And then she's like, do you want to pull over to the parking spaces? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. So then pull around to the parking spaces. And I'm like, oh my God. And my phone's at like 5%. And I'm like, this is so fucked. Car full of groceries. And I'm like, I tell her I just got $11,000 of hail damage fixed. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm like, son of a bitch. Oh God, I might be skipping out. And then we exchange information, stuff like that. Her bumper got damaged, but mine was clearly worse. She got the door, the tire, the quarter panel thing, knocked like a wheel flare fender thing off, picked that up off the ground. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like, it could have been a lot worse. And she's like, it's totally my fault. And she's like, are we supposed to call the cops? And I'm like, I think we're only supposed to call the cops if someone gets hurt. And then she's like, let me ask my mom. She's a judge. I'm like, okay. So she texts her mom, and her mom says, it's probably better if you do. So she's like, I think we should. And I'm like, okay, that's fine with me if you want to. So she calls the cops, and the cops are like, okay, we're sending an ambulance and a squad car. They're like, we're sending an ambulance and a squad car. And she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry to me. I'm like, it's okay. And I thought that they were going to be like breathalyzing or something. But anyway, we're standing there talking. She's a local. And that's when I sort of figure out that she's pregnant, like really pregnant as well. It took me probably 10, 15 minutes. Because I wasn't looking at her. I was looking at my car. And then she's like, I wonder if they're going to make a big deal out of me being pregnant. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I told her, I think I'm going to get a ticket because of my license. Because like a month ago, the other cop told me to get my license changed to North Dakota. And he said he put a note on my record. So I'm like, when this other cop shows up, he might give me a ticket. And she's like, oh my God. She's like, that's going to be the worst thing of this whole thing is you're going to have to become North Dakota. And she's laughing. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. Who knows? And then the ambulance shows up. And they're just like, you guys okay? Do you want us to do anything? And we're both like, no. They're like, okay, we're leaving then. You guys are declining assistance or whatever. And we're like, yep. So they go, and then the cop shows up, takes all of our stuff, and he's like, she says it's her fault. And he's like, well, what we can do is if you think the damage is under $4,000, you guys can handle it between each other. If you think it's more than that, then we'll file an official thing for the crash, and we'll issue a citation to her since she admitted fault. And we both look at each other, and we're just like, it's okay. We'll just do insurance companies. Let them do it. You don't need a citation. And he gave her shit back real quick, and he kept my license in his car for like 10, 20 minutes again. And my phone's dead at that point, and he's running my license over and over, and then he gives it back to me, and he's like, you guys are good to go. He's like, hope you have a better day. And I'm like, fuck, man. I just went through all this bullshit of car repairs, and I have to start from square one, and this seems even worse than hail damage to me. It's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then fucking my insurance company, I get home and I file a claim once I charge my phone to send them pictures. Within like 3 hours, they send me $3,300. And I'm like, God damn it, you guys send me money way too quickly. Save it for the body shop that I have to take the car to. That's just a stupid complaint, but it's like, then in a month from now, when it's finally time to pay whoever I repaired, then it's going to feel like it's my money coming out to them because it's been sitting in my account for so long. It was just fucking ridiculous. I'm like, 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Any other day would have been so much better. But it's like, you have so many close calls when it comes to driving that it's like, I could sense she was starting to turn, but I'm like, she's not going to hit me. There's nobody else around. And then I was thinking, if I would have left my house a second earlier, or if I would have... Oh,
aren't those the weirdest thoughts to have? Like,
yeah. If I would have checked my phone a second longer.
The worst is when you have that thought process, but it's the opposite, is to when everything worked out fine, like there was no crash, but you're like, you see like a crash right in front of you, and you're like, dude, if I would have raced, if I would have like gotten in the left lane there and passed this guy, that would have been me in that fucking situation. Or like,
or
if I wouldn't,
something.
if I wouldn't have stopped and, you know, had that extra beer with that dude, fucking, that would have been me sitting up there, fucking.
Yeah. If I would have, I think since she hit the back of me, if I would have left a minute sooner, or like not even a minute, a second, if I would have left a second sooner, or if I would have not gone down like that extra aisle at the grocery store, she wouldn't have hit me. And I was thinking about that, and I'm like, it's just whenever two cars contact each other, there is so much bullshit that comes after that. It's just crazy. To me, it's not even getting hit in that situation. It's everything after that. I'm just like, oh my God, why? What have I done to get the bad karma? I must be doing something.
When me and Fox a few weeks ago had a whole conversation kind of about this, and he brought up, he's like, dude, because it was what I think I told the story on here about the truck in the parking lot, and we come out and there's a huge fucking scratch down the side. And it's like, why the fuck do people keep hitting my truck? Like, stop fucking hitting my truck. This is the fourth time someone's hit my truck. Like, and always it's parked. It's not even moving. Like, how do you hit the fucking car? You know, and it's been multiple times. Got hit in the McDonald's drive-thru. It's like, how the fuck do you hit someone in a drive-thru? Like, what is happening here? And he brought up something, and it's so true. He's like, if you were driving a 1991 Honda Civic missing a few mirrors in three different colors, you never get in a wreck. No one ever scratches the fucking Honda Civic that's falling apart. When I had my Honda Civic, I drove that thing for 2-3 years. Nothing. Not a single incident. No one. Oh, I did it. But then that's the other nice thing about having a shitty car. Like one time, I was in my Honda Civic, and I'm fucking... We go to a stoplight, and it's like kind of uphill, and then we're at a stoplight, and I'm like in the middle of cars all the way around me. And fucking, I like look over at my phone, and then like out of my peripherals, I just see movement in front of me, and I'm like, and it like jars me, and I think I'm going forward, but it was impossible. I was in a stick shift, and I was out of gear. You know what I mean? My foot, but you know when you have that feeling, you're like, oh, I'm moving. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh shit, I'm not moving. And then all of a sudden I look up, and there's a new Ford Mustang in front of me, and he fucking rolled. He had a stick shift too, and he lit off the brake, and he fucking rolled into me. You know what I mean? So he hit my bumper, and we got off the road. But this is the nice thing about having a shitty car, is I could have given a fuck less about that car. And like the guy hits me, and it wasn't that bad, a little ding. You know, he had a scratch on his bumper, and we pull in there, and he's like, and I'm like, dude, I don't even care. I was like, it was your fault. You know, it was your fault you hit me, but I give a fuck less about this car. And I was like, so I doubt you want to put anything in your insurance because it's your fucking fault. You know what I mean? I'm not paying for your damage. You know what I mean? And then I'm just like, we can just walk away from this. And he's like, yeah, let's just walk away. And I'm like, yeah, it's a great thing about having a beater. I did not give two shits. I'm like, okay, there's a little dent in the front of it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No, this.
But that shit only happens when you have a nice car. Only when you have a nice car does dumb shit fucking happen to your car. When you care about something, that's when dumb shit fucking happens to it.
No, I need it to be in good condition for like a trade-in down the road.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And I've never filed an insurance claim in my life, and I've done two in the same summer. Yeah, and I've done two in the same summer, and neither of them were my fault. One was hail, and one was a pregnant lady. Pregnant North Dakotan lady. It's just fucking ridiculous. And it's like, yeah, people in third world countries be like, oh, it's so nice to be over there with your fancy cars. Guess what? You guys don't know how much of a pain in the ass it is after these cars connect with each other. Two camels run into each other. There's not a bunch of fucking cops being called in paperwork. No. But when two cars, it's like they're so fragile. It's just like crunch. You just hear like crunching noise. It's like, it feels like nothing. You could go like 5 miles an hour and just crunch a car up. It's like, Jesus Christ. These things should have like steel boxes around them. It's just, I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, I can't fucking believe this. I'd go outside later that night and look at my car, and I was just thinking maybe the damage wouldn't be there, and it was all just like a weird dream. Nope, still there.
So that's your $5 story, and you think it's worth that $5? You think so? Anything else you want to? You can. I'll give you some time to add some more shit into it if you want to add to that pile. You know, just like, well, and then
No.
fucking my dog died. Fucking
No, dog's still alive.
dog's still alive. Okay, you ready to lose $5? Because
Sure.
Here it comes. Here it comes. So, as if you guys are listeners, you know that I haven't been working with my company lately. I've been working with this. It's a company I worked for in the past, and they're just giving me some work. So what we're doing is we're doing siding repair on this apartment complex. They're like getting ready to sell this apartment complex, so we're just going through. It's like 6 buildings or something like that, 7 buildings, and just going through patching shit up, replacing any siding that needs replaced, fixing corner boards, retrimming out windows that are like rotting or something like that. Just doing little Band-Aid shit all over the place. So I don't even remember what day it was, Wednesday or something like that. I don't know, middle of the week. Maybe Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I'm up on a deck, and so this one was the first like deck they talked us into doing a deck. So it's just this little fucking deck, and I'm up on this deck. It's a 3rd floor deck, and I'm on the 2nd level on a ladder on the 2nd level deck, like looking at, tearing shit out above me. And I got this dude who's like the foreman guy of the company, and he's there. There's like 8 employees, 6, 7, 8 employees, something like that. Well, there's a new guy that used to work for the same. When I had quit years and years ago, there was a guy that was like the foreman who worked there. And he was actually kind of one of the reasons I hated working at this job was this dude. I hated working for him. I thought he was the biggest fucking idiot. But he started back on Monday just because he needed some side work too. Kind of doing the same thing I'm doing. Just asked this company if he can come get some work. So he joins the crew, and what they put him is they're all like, oh, well, he's a, master carpenter, blah, 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 quote, quote. And they're like, so they put him on kind of like punch detail a little bit to where like we kind of stayed in groups and we'd like tackle big projects, like a few walls. We had to side the whole wall. You know what I mean? So there'd be like a crew doing that, and then, like 2 or 3 guys doing that, 2 or 3 guys doing another building, a big wall. And then we put like 2 guys on like just small details. And they were kind of falling behind us and just like, oh, this little single board here needs to be replaced. And they just, go do that and then move to the other side of the building, do something. So me and the foreman, the guy that's worked there forever, we're up on this deck. And the new guy, this dude that just started on Monday, he comes up to the, on the ground looking up at us, and he's like, hey, Brand, B, this dude, this foreman guy, he's like, B, fucking, you need to come down here. You need to come down here right now. He's like, we have a fucking emergency. And like, at first I'm like, oh, I just kind of, I'm like kind of checked out. This company, I just want to be a fucking Indian. I don't want to be a chief. You know what I mean? Like, just, you guys, you just tell me what to do. You know what I mean? I don't want to think. I'm just going to be a mindless drone and just build shit. Whatever you want built, I'm not going to deal with, that's my position. I don't want to cause any ruffles with the company. I don't care how this is run. I don't care what is happening. Just give me my paycheck. And so, like, when he says there's an emergency, I don't really think anything of it because I'm just doing what I'm doing. So that guy goes down, and something was said. It's water. And then they go running off. And I'm like, oh. And then 30 seconds later, they're like, you need to get down here. Like, fucking, we blah, blah, blah. And then half the crew is fucking running like chickens with their heads cut off. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And so I get down off the deck, climb down a ladder, go to the opposite end of the building. What this dude had done is there was like, he was putting in a hose bib block. So the original hose bib that stuck out of the building, out of the apartment, the side of this apartment building, was just like siding and then hose bib. And he had cut the siding out, and then he's putting a block in, like a square block with a hole in the middle of it. And you like cut it in half, and then you put it around the hose bib, and then you can caulk all the way around it. It just, they say that's how you're supposed to, whatever. So that's what he was doing. While he was doing this, I didn't see it happen. All we can do is take this dude's word for what happened, because he was the only one there when it happened. He said he was like hitting the block in from the bottom, like trying to get it to into place, and it just snapped. and fucking the hose bib, what it was a hose bib and then a 10-inch copper 1-inch pipe and then a thread, and then it went into PVC, and it snapped at the end at the PVC deal. So this whole rod just pulls out, and then you just have full water pressure just blasting. But it's in, so you have an exterior wall. It's a 2x6 exterior wall, and if you look at it, it's right where, I mean, you'd have to be a framer or, pretty deep, like have done a bit of carpentry to just look at a little hole of a wall and be able to tell what's on the inside of the wall. And what it was is it was like a California corner in the framing. So it was telling you that there's an interior wall that goes past that point, like right where the hole comes out. It was an interior wall, so that water line wasn't on the exterior of the building. It went through the exterior and then into an interior wall. You know what I mean? Like straight through the building, and it snapped inside the interior wall. So
this is the whole story.
No. So it snaps, and it is shooting the fuck out of this hole. But it's 10 inches in, so it's hitting studs, and everyone's freaking out. We're trying to find a water shutoff. So you do what you normally do is go to the fucking street side where all water shutoffs are. You know what I mean? And start looking for the water shutoff. Can't fucking find it. We have 4 guys mad running trying to find this water shutoff. Can't fucking find it. And it is just pissing. And then one dude's banging on the front door of this guy's apartment, and he's like, "There's a fucking emergency. No one's answering the door. We open up the door. So what was happening is we're banging, nothing's answering, and we're running around. Fucking 5 minutes goes by, nothing. Water's just full stream going, and then go back to the dude's front door, banging on it, and then we're looking around, and water is coming out of the door, out of the fucking. There's so much water in this dude's apartment, it's coming out of the front door of the apartment, which is 20 feet away from where the water is. So his whole apartment is flooded. Fucking whole thing's flooded. And and then finally, the fucking owner of the company shows up right at this moment, this exact moment. The owner of the company fucking drives his truck in and parks it right next, and we're running, and he's sitting in his truck, and he's what is, just kind of a few glances, because we're not doing what we normally would be doing. They were running fucking running circles around this building. And then finally someone finds the water shutoff. It's on the opposite side of the building in a flower garden. Why it's there, I have no idea. It's a weird spot.
Well, it's not going to be inside.
Normally it would be street side, right in between the street and your fucking house.
But not inside the house.
Well, we weren't checking inside the house. We wanted access to the building, wanted to make sure, I don't know, some 80-year-old lady wasn't in there or something like that, and then also maybe you could fucking bust a hole in the fucking drywall real quick and divert the water so it's not going into the house, it's exiting the building. You know what I mean? So you're not just piling water inside this building. And finally, this dude finds it behind a bush in the weirdest fucking spot. It was not a normal place to have it. Finds it and shuts it off. But it ran for a solid 10 minutes. Solid 10 minutes. So much water, it traveled through the master bedroom, hallway, living room, and then is coming out the front door. So, total fucked. It was insane. It was insane to see. And then it was also insane to see, when you're on the outside of the building, it's not normal for a wall to just be shooting water out. You know what I mean? Because then they're tearing siding off, trying to get to just something to divert the water out. So gave up on trying to make that square pretty, and then you just ripping boards off and then ripping plywood out, trying to get there as fast as possible. And it was real gnarly. It was the gnarliest thing I've ever been a part of on a construction site. I had it very what the fuck? It was who do you call? If we couldn't have figured out, if we didn't find it, then we're kind of at minute 8, we're who do you, what do we call the city? You know what I mean? What the fuck do you, and then what are they going to do? Shut water off to everybody in the neighborhood? You know what I mean? It's such a massive ordeal.
Yeah.
And then once the water shut off, then it's like a race because you just shut water off to fucking 16 residents or 10, whatever. I can't remember how many units are in a building, but
Yeah.
the whole building shut down. They were shut down for 3-4 hours.
So it was a siding job,
Yes.
and you flooded the guy's apartment.
Yeah. Oh, and he was fucking pissed. I mean,
Well,
rightfully
yeah.
so. Rightfully so. Like if you come home and literally your whole house is pissing water out of it.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
So that's it? I
Yeah,
think mine is way worse.
Yeah. We'll see who wins this one. If you win, they're doing it just to fuck with me.
What if
That's
it's
the
a
only
split
reason.
decision?
Then it's a split decision. I thought about that with only picking 2 people, but
I thought about that too.
I'm so confident on mine that
No.
I'll give you the chance for a split decision.
Just think, when you're listening to this to make your decision, just think about surviving a car accident and just being hit in your vehicle.
And then
now you have to deal with that.
At 5 miles an hour. And then in that same thought, think about coming home at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and then having to run and take all of your valuables out of your house and apartment and place them out in the parking lot for everyone to see all of your stuff.
That's what happened?
You're in a mad dash. Yeah. You need to get all the shit out. His house is flooded. If your house flooded, what would you do? Wouldn't that be what you do? Start taking stuff out? Like,
Well, yeah.
computers got to get out. Fucking beds got to get out. The dressers, all the books got to go. Like fucking, and that's what
Yeah.
it was. As fast as you could. And then, half our crew's out there helping him fucking take a bed out and take dressers out and take fucking.
God damn it. That is fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. You just definitely lost $5.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous, dude. Fucking siding jobs.
How much do you poop a day?
Pretty much one.
Just one?
Yeah.
What would you say that's normal?
Yeah.
Do you think 3
Well-
is normal?
No, I saw a thing on TikTok saying it was supposed to be 2 to 3.
So I've had a lot of poop talk this week. A lot of poop talk. Fucking because my girl, she's one of those people, and I've met a few of them. I have an aunt that's the same way. That she goes like it's not abnormal for her to go every 2 weeks. One poop
Really?
every 2 weeks. Yeah,
I had no idea that happened.
And I had an aunt that was the same way. And then on a podcast I listened to, Your Mom's House, one of their editors or their producers, like, I don't know, sound guy.
Uh-huh.
They have like 3 guys that sit in the background. And I don't know exactly what this guy does, but he'll chime in once in a while. And he's been part of they've had a whole conversation about it where he's like, yeah, I poop like once a month. And they have a doctor. Dr. Drew is part of their whole crew. Like they produce multiple different podcasts, and Dr. Drew does one, and they like ask Dr. Drew about this kid, and Dr. Drew's like, yeah, some people just do that, and he's like, it's totally healthy. There's nothing weird.
What?
I can't wrap my head around how that could be healthy. I'm like, that has to not be healthy. When you think about that, like you just have poop sitting in you for 2 weeks. Like how is that? And she eats normal, eats just as much food as I do. Maybe a hair
Where's all the
less.
food go?
That's what I mean. It doesn't make any fucking sense. And
No,
then
that's
when
crazy.
And then she thinks I'm crazy because I am the most regular. My shits are literally on a clock. Like it is right after my coffee and I get to work about 8 a.m. every fucking day. I poop every day 8 a.m. I poop, and then usually 1 p.m. right after lunch. About 1 to 2 p.m. I poop, and then about 5, 6, 7 o'clock, poop again. Every day. Like clockwork. 3 a day. Maybe 2 a day, but definitely pooping at least once a day.
Yeah, I mean, I think one seems normal, but I saw a thing on TikTok. I can't remember exactly what they were saying, but I remember them just saying 2 to 3. That's crazy once every 2 weeks.
You've
That
never
is
heard of
just
that?
Nuts. No. I mean, I heard on that North Korean podcast they were doing it like once every 2 months or something crazy, but they're like not even eating
But that's
food.
just lack of nutrition. Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently this producer and your chick are malnourished.
But they say it's not like it's not something like you're not going to die from it. It's not like life threatening. You're still healthy, which just blows me away.
Maybe everything's normal. Maybe if it's like 4 times a day or if it's like once every 3 weeks, maybe it's just everybody's different.
I just think that's crazy. I think
that
it's
is
insane.
crazy. Yeah, that is insane. That's wild. It's like a 6-pack of toilet paper is going to last you a year.
Well, one of the conversations with my girlfriend was all about that. I'm like, no. And I was like, because she thinks I'm weird. Originally, we were talking about it, like a week or two ago. She thinks I'm weird for 3 times a day, and I think she's weird for twice a week. And she's like, people do not go 3 times a day. And I was like, yes, they do. And I was like, I know they do because I've shared a porta potty with hundreds of people on a regular basis, and I see the progression of poops from people. If you work on a crew of 4 people, you have a crew of 6 people. 1 roll of toilet paper is going to last about 2 days, maybe. So I know that those people are pooping just as much as I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's nuts. That's fucking ridiculous. Crazy bullshit. So I have a weird question that nobody's ever asked before in the history of humans. And it's a really weird one. So this week on the plus side of my week, and I'm not trying to like stunt or whatever, and I won't be saying any dollar amounts, but like, I pulled the trigger on selling like about 15% of the crypto that I own. Okay. And that was really interesting to do because, as the years have passed, I've never really given myself permission to do that. So now that I finally did it, and my taxes next year are completely fucked. But let's say someone had some weird idea like 10 years ago that they said, I want to make at least 1 year in my life, I want to make X amount of money in the year, and let's just say that number is like $30,000, and they just as an example, and they said one year in my life I want to make $30,000. If at their job they made like $24,000 that year in a year, and then they sold a bunch of stuff that got them over that $30,000 mark, would that count? Do you think?
Yeah.
You'd count that as a year in their life they wanted to make $30,000, and you'd say they did it if they sold stuff to get them over that mark.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
You've never told, I mean, obviously on the show, but you've never told me any dollar amount. I'm so fucking interested to know how much goddamn Bitcoin you have.
Sorry to keep bringing it up. I don't have any Bitcoin. It's all other coins other than Bitcoin.
It's all Dogecoin?
No, it's no Doge. But 15% of what I have,
So actually, on that topic, I brought it up a long time ago, and I'd done it, and I've been sitting on it for so fucking long, and finally I just sold all of it. And I'd added more money to it, but I've been banking on that fucking Carnival Cruise thing, and I'll be so mad. But just given the whole new Delta variant and all the restrictions coming on, I'm like, this just isn't looking good for entertainment. You know what I mean? Like any entertainment industry. So I pulled all my I sold all the stocks this last week.
Did you lose money?
Like $3. It just fucking stayed. It had gone down like $50, $60, $70, and then fucking it got back up, and I'm like, I'm out. Because I'm just like, now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for this. I'm sitting on the cash now, because it all started with getting Cash App. This other guy I've been working for wanted to pay me through Cash App, and I saw on the Cash App you can buy the fucking Bitcoin thing in there. And I'm like, huh. And he had paid me money, and I almost just took all that money and bought Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And so what I've done, what I'm kind of waiting on, because I know Bitcoin just is, 51,000 right now or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And which is pretty high, right? Didn't it hit 64,000 at one point?
Yeah.
And then dip down. So I don't know. Now I have this cash set aside That's like in my mind is like my investing cash. It's not a bunch of money, and so I don't know. I feel like I'm just going to wait for it to dip a little bit and then throw all of it in Bitcoin and just let that go.
Probably be about February, March.
When it dips?
Yeah.
What do you think it'll go down to? 30? 40?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do. Just start throwing money in there. And I don't know. There's been so much talk I've been seeing about all the alternate coins. I feel like from a year ago, I don't know. It's like just cryptocurrency is now just a normal conversation, whereas a year ago it wasn't.
Yeah, it's true.
I just find it so weird. Like it's on news. People in the news are talking about it. And a year ago, no one in the news was talking about cryptocurrencies.
Yeah. It crossed a huge threshold over COVID, basically. Whenever anything happens that makes the U.S. dollar go down in value, cryptocurrency always goes up in value because people just want to move their money into different things that will make them money. But even I just noticed last month when I went to pay my water bill on the website for the city here, a city of like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60,000 people, maybe at the most. Now there's an option to pay with crypto. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, that's awesome to see.
Huh. Yeah.
And then another thing I did, my mom sent me an article saying that the Biden administration had released another $1 billion for student loan forgiveness for students that went to ITT Tech. And so I downloaded like 24 forms and filled them all out. And I went to a website and purchased my, whatever they're called, your grades. Transcript. And I purchased it. It cost me $15 and they sent it to me. And then I attached my acceptance letter and then other things and emails and stuff and sent that to the federal government. And I'm just like, it's a shot in the dark. Who knows?
Oh, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, why not? I mean, fuck it.
Why not, right?
Take it while you can get it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sure. I hate bringing up things about news because I just feel like
abortion.
No, why has abortion been such a topic I keep seeing lately? Fucking
dude, it's all I'm seeing lately.
Are they about to vote on something or something like? Oh yeah, didn't 5 of the Supreme Court justices just do some? Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, someone posted something and it was saying that 5 Supreme Court justices ruled like fucking in a like quick decision in
it's about Texas.
Yeah, Texas about that the law is 5 weeks or 6 or something.
No, from what I'm seeing, Texas passed something saying that abortion is like it's a criminal thing, but it's also now like a civil thing where you can sue someone in like a civil lawsuit if they get an abortion, and it doesn't even have to be someone that's like carrying your baby. It's like someone you know, anybody. Like if you had a coworker that got an abortion, you could sue them in like a civil court. Or if someone like an Uber driver drove someone to get an abortion, you could sue the Uber driver. You could sue everybody that knew about it. It's like some crazy lawsuit happy weird and I don't even know exactly all the details, but I just saw that in like a couple different places and I'm like that sounds like it doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I'm assuming what I was reading about the Supreme Court justices, they must have like upheld the ruling. Constitution, I can't say that word, of what Texas did, right? Because wouldn't that when you appeal to that to the Supreme Court and then the Supreme Court would uphold the ruling?
Yeah. And you're crazy pro-abortion. You're like super raw pro-abortion. Like you're so pro-abortion you could like be giving abortions, right? I am. I don't know if you're pushing me towards something, but I am out of every political topic, it is one that I really don't have much of an opinion on. Yeah,
I don't really care. I don't like all the arguments. I just don't think. I see both sides. I understand both sides of it.
Yeah, I do
and
too.
I'm somewhere right in the middle. It's honestly, I just don't care. Like there's part of me that does think it's fucked up. That's like, I don't know. It's like kind of fucked up a little bit, especially like the later term it goes. Like it's still a fucking being inside you. I don't know. The older I get, the more I lean on a conservative, the religious side of that. Like, I don't know. I've had an abortion, so it would be real shitty of me to fucking be like, oh, fuck, you shouldn't be having abortions. I really don't like the argument that all pro-abortion people throw out, like, about no white man should be telling me what I should do with my body. It's like, yeah, but that's not the argument. It's not like we're telling you can and can't shave your legs. We're talking about the idea is if the person inside of you is a human being, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter that my genitalia is different than you. I don't like that argument on the other side of the aisle. I think it's a stupid argument. Yeah. It's a stupid argument. We're talking about a human, you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about someone other than you. Like, I understand you are carrying the baby, but we're talking about what's inside you. I know that it's adversely going to affect your life, whatever this is, either way, and that can be part of the argument. But you just saying you're a man, you shouldn't even have an argument in this. It's like, that's stupid. Like, one, they're still fathers, and just because they're not carrying it, if that's the fucking attitude you want to have, legitimately, like as a man, I'd say then fuck child support. If you guys get that, then we get child support. Then we don't owe you shit when you have the kid. You know what I mean? Like, because it's as soon as the baby's born, then all women are like, well, it's a human and you were part of it, and this is 50% your responsibility. You take care of it. If they're gonna have an abortion, they're like, you don't fucking tell me what to do. It's my fucking body. Blah blah blah. It's like, that's weird. Fucking 1 minute, it's I shouldn't say anything about a woman's body. The next minute, it's 50% my fault. Like, huh? Well, fucking can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, fucking pick one.
I think the whole way to destroy the argument, if you want to be a fucked up person, is when they're like, oh, it becomes a human or it becomes a life at this stage, and be like, yeah, I know, but I'm still like pro-choice. But yeah, I agree with you. It's alive at that point, but I'm still pro-choice. And I've never heard anyone take that stance, because I would just blow out the whole when does it become alive thing. I don't know. Yeah. And there's sometimes when I hear about the chatter of abortion, this, that, and I just think, let's just get all the women go get together and you guys decide. Just when I'm hearing like so much about it, I'm like, you guys fucking figure it out. I don't know. You know what the worst argument I ever heard is actually the opposite side, where I was arguing against a real conservative guy about abortions. And I'm like, no, blah, blah, blah. And his argument was, and I've heard it other places, it's a rare argument, but it is the dumbest one to me, is he was saying, like, how do you know that baby isn't going to be like the next Einstein? You know what I mean? It's like, by killing a baby, you're taking away the possibilities of like God's creations. You know what I mean? And it's like that person, you literally could be killing someone very important to the human race. Yeah. And it's like, okay. But you can't argue anything with what ifs. I hate arguments like that. Yeah. Like, what if this happened? It's like, well, that's ridiculous. Well, what if a fucking Yeah, I'm pro-choice, because a lot of times, whenever it comes down to it, in any controversial thing or any decision needs to be made, I'm always for more choice and more option. And it's like, I'm also heavy on non-government. That's why I don't take this. That's my least fucking, because it's such a personal thing. Like, I just think. And especially like religious people, it's like, well, if you think that that's like evil to do, then you just let them deal with the moral consequences of what's happening in the abortion. Right. You know what I mean? Like, people die every fucking day and all kinds of shit. It's like, it's just a part of life. So you just
forget about it and let fucking Susie Q spread her legs and kill babies. And if you believe that that's evil and she's going to go to hell, well, then guess what? She's evil and she's going to go to hell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you just want to tell other people what to do. There was one time I was working and I was in like a break room at a job and there was guys and girls around or whatever, and I was sitting like next to this girl and there was kind of nobody really sitting next to us, and somehow the abortion thing came up and she like described to me when she went and got an abortion, like described the whole thing to me like in detail, and I was like, okay, that's a lot more fucked up than I thought it was going to be. But it was a little eye-opening. But still, I don't know what her fucking goal was. But I'm for humans having more choices. It's like, and if you don't want to get one, don't get one.
But I don't know. I this one's such a hard one because then, like, what if your mom, what if your mom had aborted you at fucking 2 months? You know what I mean? Like, thinking about that. And it's like, dude, I wanted to live. I'm happy to live. I want to be here. I'm happy that I live my life. Like, I'm glad that you didn't do that. And if I had a choice now, if like, I know this is the what if, but like, what if you went back in time and you're fucking standing there with your mom and she's pregnant with you and she's like, I want to have an abortion. Would you not argue her and be like, no, I want to live. Like, I want to be here. Don't fucking do that.
Yeah, you would.
So it's like, I know that's a crazy what if.
That is crazy.
But it's still life. It is life. It's a hard one because it is life and no one is standing up for that baby. So that's why I do feel like it is kind of good. That argument, people kind of like standing up for that baby because he or she can't, there's no way that they can communicate any thought process. And so
I know.
it's all the mom and you're all good with your personal choice to do whatever you want with your life until it starts affecting other people. And in this instant, it's kind of affecting someone else. Like, you can go, like, in my mind, you go do meth every day. It should be totally legal. I don't give a fuck what you do with your own life. Don't care. Go do it. But if, like, you're shooting up and then you fucking somehow and then you miss your needle and stab someone else in the arm, well, now you fucked up. You should go to jail. You did something fucked up to another human being. I don't give a shit what you do to yourself. You want to kill yourself? Fucking have at it. But as soon as you start hurting other human beings, that's when you need to step in. And then that's a weird argument with abortion because it kind of is. It kind of, even at 2 months, it's like that kind of is a person. And no one's standing up for that person. And this my body, my choice. Like, okay, I get it. It's your body. But there's still there's a living thing inside of you that's separate from you.
Yeah. Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna fucking say.
I'm sorry.
God damn it. Ah, shit. It's like you want to not get to that point in the first place. Where you are about to be a parent, mother or father in 2 months, and you're not capable of it. Let's maybe not get to that point before, having an abortion. Fuck, I think let's say you're against abortion, so you get your victory. United States bans abortions for everybody across the board, and then you're like, yes, victory. Do you really think that's going to stop people from trying to have an abortion? So in on that side of the argument, and I think you'd agree with me, maybe it's better if it happens in a sterile environment than in some fucking backseat of a car. You know what I'm saying? Because people are going to do it no matter what. It's like drugs. They're going to get high. They're going to have abortions because people are insane.
I don't know about that. I'm sure it could. I'm sure there is a percentage of people that would do that, but not like it's not going to be 50% of the women that would go get an abortion are going to go do it in the backseat of a car. Because I'd tell you what, if I had a baby and I didn't want it, and my option was to have the baby or go to someone's fucking garage and have them take it out, be like, you ain't fucking touching me, okay? This that I'm seeing right here is not safe for my health. I ain't doing this. I gotta have the baby.
Well, and you allegedly have a above average IQ, and some of those people are probably all strung out and fucking fucked up in the head from too much head trauma.
Then a win-win, because now we're taking 2 fucking douchebags off the street.
Yeah, I guess. So you're pro fucking back alley abortions. I see.
Okay, but now you're putting words in my mouth. You know, just a second ago, I had this thought process, and it's kind of weird. It's okay. You have Republican Party, Democrat Party. Democrats just across the board seem to be a little bit more pro-government, big government. You know what I mean? Which leads to like socialism, which further on down the road would lead to communism. You know, a little bit somewhere in that realm is the fear
scenario.
from that. Isn't it funny, though, that is when it comes to abortion, like one of the most hardcore communist countries is the exact opposite, has zero problem with abortion? You know what I mean? Like China don't give a fuck about abortion. If it comes to aborting women off the planet, they're like, fucking get them out of here. You know what I mean? Like, you can only have 2 fucking kids in China. So, if you're talking about the biggest government, really, like Big Brother, China's pretty up there with, control.
Right. And Democrats are pro-choice.
Yeah, isn't that just kind of weird that it's fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, Chinese don't give a fuck about baby life. They're like, no, get those women out of here. If it's a woman, kill that baby.
I think we need bigger government, and if you need some sort of system in place where if you want to have a kid, you have to submit an application to have the kid, and you have to get approved by the government, and then they'll give you permission to have one. You have to have a certain amount of income, certain amount your living situation has to be.
Dan Cummins, like that's one of his bits. It's all about that. All about like you should have to go through a process.
Yeah.
Like he's like I can't really, I think he compares it to like the DMV or something like that. He's like you have to go in and take this test to go get your license, but you can just pump babies out.
Yeah. You can just be living in a shack and just fucking have 15 babies if you want to. Fuck it.
And God damn it, it's a great bit. Something about like if you fucking don't know the date today, fucking automatically out. Fucking.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't really think that, but.
Well, interesting. Have you seen all this shit that China's doing? It kind of ties into that a little bit.
No, what are they doing?
Doing some crazy shit, dude. Right now, China is like, dude, they're making power moves. In my opinion,
it's like a game of Risk.
They're making power moves. They are gearing for world domination.
And you're on top of them.
I think, dude, honestly, I applaud them a little bit. I think, other than being like a hardcore communist thing, it is just pretty. They are like laser fucking focused on what they want, and they have been for like 40 years. You know what I mean? Like laser focused. And do not talk shit. Don't go into China and start saying something. Fuck China. You will die. Like, you will be killed if you go do that shit in China. And it's so fun. I don't know. It's so weird. And I feel like a lot of people, this is going to be a long China bit. I feel like a lot of people don't really like, and I'm not like some big historian on China, but I just listened to this whole podcast about the last dictator of China. The fuck his name is, from like, it was from like 1900 to like 1940 or something like that. And that dude. And so that was not that long ago. Like, not that long ago at all. And the shit that dude did is fucking insane. Absolutely insane. The whole story, just his whole highlights of what that dude did was just, that happened in 1920. It was just like, what the fuck, dude? That guy is a animal.
Wait, so what are they trying to do?
So, God damn it. I was going somewhere with that. You fucked me up.
Sorry.
I was on a little side quest there, and you fucked the side quest all up.
It seems like China never gets involved outside of China. Really.
Oh. That's where I was getting. I'll get to that. What China's doing now. But what I was getting at is I feel like maybe we don't spend a bunch of time on China in history class, or like, I just find it weird when you hit World War II in history class or most documentaries, or when you get into World War II, you kind of gloss over China there. And it's like China was part of the Allied powers. And I remember like getting Axis and Allies as a kid or getting into that. You're just like, oh yeah, during World War II, China was the good guy. He was on our side. You know what I mean? And it was like Russia was on our side. And fucking, and and then, but you hear a lot about Russia with the Cold War shit, you know, a lot of anti-Russian sentiment through the 80s and 90s, 2000s, you know what I mean? So it's like, that was like, oh, they just joined us for, you know, just because they didn't want to fucking lose to Hitler in Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I always had this different idea of China, of just like, no, they were on our side. They were part of the Allied powers. Like, yeah. But then you start digging into China's past, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, those animals. Like, they've done some horrifically bad shit in their countries. And not that long ago at all. And then even to date, they're like so communist. They're like so strict communist. So, yeah, this last week, they just changed. I don't know, that whole World War II bit was just, I was talking about with a girl the other day. I was like, it's just funny how China took our side on that. Because they fucking hated us. You know what I mean? And it's like, the only reason they took our side was because fuck Japan. They were just scared shitless of Japan. You know what I mean? They're like, no.
Jesus.
No. We can't let Japan win. But whatever. But China just did, you can only, I should have fucking wrote down the exact numbers of what it is, but you can, it's like a law in China now. If you're under the age of 18, you can only play video games 1 hour a night on weekdays, and like it's block scheduled out, like scheduled. If you're under 18, they have cut video game. They are like attacking video games. You can only play 1 hour. I think I saw two things and I was confused. It's either 5 hours total in a week and only on weekends and only on allotted times. Or it's 1 hour a night on weekdays or whatever. But anyways, they're like, isn't that insane? Is that not crazy?
Yeah. So do they really like control it like with a flipping switch?
I mean, I don't know how
That's
technically
crazy.
it works out, but you don't fuck around in China. Like, you don't fuck around. Like, when the government sets a law, you abide by the law. Kind of like, you know, with kids. Like, dude, I'm pretty sure I'm starting to talk out of my ass. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure in China, you have to like do paperwork to keep your kid if it's a woman in China. You know what I mean? Like they want women out. Like, fuck women.
Yeah.
Like, just a lot of crazy shit. So they did that.
I wonder wonder why they got to a point where they had so many more men than women. Wait, isn't that what happened? Yeah, that is what happened. They had more men than women.
Because they kill women. They notoriously kill women as babies.
But
they
now
do
they
not
want more
women
to equal it out.
No. If you're if you're a family and you have a girl, you're not proud of that. They want boys. Like, if you're a mom and a dad, or you're a dad there and you have a fucking kid, you want that fucker to be a boy because it's just you want it. It's all about men. It is very sexist there, extremely sexist. Like,
what good's it going to be if you have a country just full of men?
Well, obviously they want women to be there, but just out of a pride stance. Yeah, you're like a slave. You're not a slave, but you're just on a totally different plane there. They just want men are definitely way higher up in the totem pole in China. But then they did a fucking something about, so they passed a law to where now all TV in China, you have to be a masculine man to be a TV star, news anchor, all that shit. Which is another just crazy thing. Did you hear that one?
No.
Yeah, so and like an official statement from the Chinese government, from the I don't know what the acronym was, the Department of Media and Affairs or some bullshit like that in China. Yeah, they said this whole thing. They're just like, China's youth is being influenced way too much by Southern Korean and some other country feminine figures, and it's starting to creep into our pop culture, and we do not want our country, our young men being raised by sissies, essentially. And they're like, we need to advocate for stronger, more masculine men. So now they're just like, across the board, if you are on TV in China, you have to be a masculine man. No feminine qualities. That fucking another crazy thing. Is that just not like, I don't know, stupid. I just feel, I don't want to go down this fuck Democrats thing like we normally do, when you get me ranting, but it's just like, this is the fear to me. This is like where shit leads, as you just keep picking and keep just keep like, oh, government will make this better. It's like, this is the fear. Like, this is the fear, and this is really happening right now in this world with a civilized country, like a massive mega power country, is extremely sexist, extremely racist. You know what I mean? All in the name of fucking essentially social, ideas of just like, no, all for, it's all about the herd, not the individual.
Yeah, they're old school. And they're trying to keep it old school. Keep it straight gangsta.
They're gonna fucking win. You know what I mean? They're gonna win. That's gonna work out for them in the end, because they can just they can just keep a hold on everything. We're just eating ourselves alive over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're just ruining everything that America was good at.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know, it's weird. It's just fucking weird. And the problem with people is they have, say you agree with China and you're like, we need only masculine men on television so that none of our young boys are influenced by effeminate men. If you agree with that, so then you agree with the government. No one ever thinks, but the problem is that the government's doing it. And what if they were going the other way? We only want effeminate men on TV. Then you'd be, oh, fuck that. But it's like, you're only raw government when the government's doing what you want, and no one ever thinks, it could so easily be the other way around, and they'd be doing what I don't want. I don't know.
I got a challenge. I got a challenge for you and anyone listening, because I preach so much like libertarian ideas of just less government control. I'm trying to go through my head of just like, is there a law that was passed that increased government that I was happy with? You know what I mean?
That increased government power.
Yes, that I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, we need that. And the only thing, back in my hardcore atheist Democrats day, my argument I'd always pull up against people who thought the Democratic way. Not that long ago, I was a flip-flopper. Like with my parents and family members and shit like that, like getting into arguments with them. The one I'd always go with is just like police and firefighters and shit like that. Like, that's such a good example of a government entity that's ran well. You know what I mean? That's like, they take care of shit, and and then to think of the alternative, like if there was no fire department or police department, how fucking bullshit that would be. If you had to pay for security to protect you in your own house, you know what I mean? Or if a fire broke out, you had to front the bill, you know what I mean? Like to pay a private company to come put a fire out. You know what I mean? So that was always my argument as like pushing socialism, was like, we already have all these socialist things that work really well. You know what I mean? That we're all down for paying for out of our taxes. Why not just keep increasing that? And it always healthcare was what I was.
Yeah. It's a bad idea.
What, healthcare?
No, just paying more and more taxes for more and more
I know, but yeah. I mean, do you not agree? Are you not happy with where your tax dollars go when it comes to police and firefighter and libraries and shit like that?
I'm happy with that. I'd like to see some receipts. And I'm fine with paying per time I call. It should all be privatized. But that's just me.
It'd be so much money. That'd be so lame, dude.
Be less than your taxes.
Well, yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah. A lot of those taxes are going to other shit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What about the border wall? Is that an example of a time when government got more power that you were pro?
I wouldn't. That's just government spending. I wouldn't really call that more power. You're not giving them any power. You're just giving them money to do something you want. That's just basic infrastructure. And I'm fine with infrastructure. I'm fine with the wall. I've never. I just don't understand why not. I get it's a lot of money, but it's like, fuck, we spend a lot of money on all kinds of shit. Like, why not a wall?
Yeah.
It's like fucking. I get that it would be a massive undertaking, but like the argument that it wouldn't deflect people coming across the border, that's ridiculous. It's like, well, people have ladders. It's like, well, it's a lot fucking easier to just walk through than it is to fucking carry a ladder through the desert for 3 days. Like, fuck you talking about? Like,
yeah. Recently, I don't even know what the exact thought is, but whenever I go somewhere where I'm like ordering food or I think that's the main one, or somewhere where the person that's like in a customer service situation and they're interacting with me and the person is like really, really nice. Like, say you go to some shitty Pizza Hut or something like that, and the person's like really great to you, going above and beyond, doing all that stuff, and you're like, thank you so much for doing that. And I'm just like, I don't want to lose that. I don't want that person to just not give a fuck. I like that they're sort of good at what they do, and I know that, like, looking around, this place only pays minimum wage, you know what I mean? But they're like really good, like a really good crew or waitress or bartender or something like that, and it's like, God, I don't even know why they're working here, but I'm super glad that they are. And it's just, in some situations, I'm like, I'm glad that they care about their job. Or whether you're like getting an oil change or something, I was like, fuck, I'm really glad there's good people here doing good work and being nice about it. And it's like, I hope we don't lose that. And I'm not for just raising the fucking minimum wage through the roof, but it's like, I don't want to lose those good people in those interactions. And I don't know how to prevent it, because it's like in a job like that. I know when I worked at like KFC or in a restaurant or fucking as a janitor, all I was thinking about is how am I going to get out of this job and get to a better job. And I'm sure that's what they're thinking too. They're probably in school because they're like, they don't want to work here forever. And it's not like McDonald's is supposed to be where you start there when you're 19 and you work forever. It's kind of gotten to the point where it's just supposed to be like high schoolers working there. You're not supposed to be like 45 years old and working minimum wage. Something happened that fucked your life up to where it put you there, and that's okay. But now it's at the point where those shitty jobs are meant to kind of just be like high school and college kids. But I want those high school and college kids that are working there to do a good job, because you don't want someone fucking with your food or not giving a shit about working on your car or whatever. And I'm just like, how do we I don't know, I just want to keep those people. And I feel like maybe in 10, 20 years, they ain't going to be working there. It's going to be robots. And then, that's not going to be as enjoyable. Is it going to be the same amount of quality? Maybe. I don't know.
We're jumping around on a lot of different, different topics, I would say. Like, throwing the pay scale into that argument is a little weird, because I mean that's the main argument with pay increase on like the Republican side of it is, okay, but you got to think about what's going to happen in a capitalist society. If you own a business and you keep forcing us to pay more and more money, we are going to replace your job with a robot, because it's going to be financially. When you go to Safeway and they're all the self-checkout lines and you got one fucking teller up there, it's like, why wouldn't they do that? If you're running Safeway, it's such a no-brainer. Like, of course. Like, why would I not replace it with something that, initially is going to cost me, I don't know how much those fucking units cost, but let's say $100,000 or so. Or that's probably a gross number. Fucking, let's say $50,000 to have it in there. Yeah, that's a lot out of pocket, but you just got to look long-term. They're looking, in 3 years, that thing's paying for itself, and I don't have to pay for a fucking employee anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, I mean, that's that argument of just the pay increase side. But I think being happy and being good customer service, no matter what your job is, that doesn't come from a pay scale thing. In my mind, that's like just a happy society. You know what I mean? That's just, I was happy when I was working for $5.25 an hour. I was fucking happy as a clam. You know what I mean? I was great. Like,
I was too, but I always knew, I was like, this is a shitty job. Like, I'm happy and I'm going to be good at it, but I know it's shitty and I want to get another one. But it's a point
of like, my job's shitty. Everyone's job's shitty. Work is work. Most of the time, most people don't do something they enjoy. They're doing something that makes money. And there is a personal choice. That has nothing to do with money. It is a personal choice to wake up in the morning and be in a good mood or be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And
it's true.
I've always been more on that side of just be happy. Like, it makes me, I swear I spend 50% of the time in my life just trying to focus on seeing things that make me unhappy and then weeding that shit out of my life. And to me, it's always just a personal choice. It has nothing to do with my situation, my family situation, how much money I'm making. It's just, you can choose to be happy. You can choose to be a nice person. If shit's going sideways, someone hits your car in a parking lot, you can choose. The situation is already done. The person that's hit you has already hit you. Being mad about that situation doesn't change the situation. If your house floods out and you got to move all your shit out in the parking lot, in that moment, 10 minutes after that has gone down, being mad and throwing a fit and like attacking someone else, it doesn't change anything. You're not going to be any happier over that. When you wake up in the morning and you work at McDonald's and you go to work and you just have a shitty attitude and you're like, fuck this, they don't pay me enough money, fuck this. It's just like, all you're doing is adding more misery onto the misery pile you already have going. If you wake up in the morning and just like, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to have good interactions with people, well, your wage is still the same. Nothing has changed. Nothing changed. That's still the same. Tomorrow, it's going to be the same fucking thing. So why not spend your time being happy? And to me, it's so important. To me, I hate being negative. It's just, I don't understand how some people are so negative. It's just like, dude, don't you see that it's just like a snowball effect in your life, that you being negative in every situation brings more negativity towards you?
Yeah. That's definitely true.
Yeah, I love one dude. I don't know, at the beginning of when you started that rant, there was a dude who stuck out so, I'll never forget this guy. I don't know why it wasn't that important of a part of my life, but I was in the DMV here and fucking sitting there for hours just hating life, and the dude at the front desk was just the nicest fucking dude I've ever met and so fucking helpful, and I was just like, thank you for being so awesome. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for at least taking this miserable situation that no one in this room wants to be a part of and just having a good day. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, no, you just got to do this. But 90% of the time you go to the DMV and it's like, can I help you? And just like, you did the wrong form. You go to the back at the I-29, get back in line. It's like, you bitch. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking, I want to keep those happy people in those jobs. You know what I mean? But I don't want to collapse the economy trying to do it. What?
Brad Robertson's network bandwidth is low.
That's a stupid thing to say.
Is what I'm seeing. I just see you sitting still. I hear your audio, so we'll just keep going. But
oh, really? God damn it. I see your video.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. I'm just throwing it out there. We can keep going. Your audio's been perfect the whole time.
Oh, now my audio's perfect. Maybe I need to reset my router before the show every time. Son of a bitch. Is it better now? No?
No. But we're good. I'm getting audio, so we can just keep going with it. Other than just stopping and rebooting your shit and starting over. But I'm getting audio, so hopefully your computer is recording your fucking shit fine. Because I can hear you just fine.
I think it is.
Well, we'll find out. So be happy. I'm such a fucking avid fan of just being happy. Even in the worst situations. Like, I just hate, I don't know, it's just like, dude, stop and think. When negative situations happen, and they happen all the time, you get hit by a car, you fucking parents die. Just so many negative things are going to happen in your life. And I really applaud people that can, and I try so hard, and I feel like I do a pretty good job of, like, when negative shit happens, I mean, sometimes I lose my temper, but I think it's so important to just focus on just keep the happiness, like, keep the happiness going. Like, it makes the situation better. Even your house burns down, it's already burnt down. You know what I mean? Like, you've already lost all your stuff. It's like, I've never really had to deal with death. I mean, I've had a few like close friends die, and like one of my close friends, like, I never really got that sad about it, because it was like me crying over this dude's death doesn't change anything. It doesn't change his death. He's still dead. You know what I mean? And it's like, one of my good friends, and I look at that a lot, and I've had conversations with a lot of other friends about his death, and I'm like, dude, you gotta, like, one, I know if that kid was alive today, he would want us to be doing the best we could do. Like, I know that. I know that about him. And it's like, and I know he wouldn't want us to be sad. It's done. If I die, like, I swear, if I have a funeral and it's sad and people are fucking crying, that's not what I want. On the record, I'm saying that is not what I want at all. It's like, why cry? It's fucking done. I'm dead. You know what I mean? I'm dead. I'm in the casket right there. There is no tear that's going to be shed that's going to save shit. It's like either do something that's going to benefit like my family or something like that. Like that. If like tears mean nothing. You know what I mean? Tears don't change anything. Yelling doesn't change anything. Either fucking act or forget about it. You know what I mean? Like either do something that's beneficial, and if there is nothing beneficial that can happen, then cut the negativity out.
Yeah. I hear you. Can you see me yet?
Nope. It kind of. I'm still hearing you. It does kind of suck not being able to see any facial like cues,
God damn it.
But
I have a movie trivia question for you.
Okay.
Because in 66 episodes, my one wish has just been you'd give me some movie trivia, but I have a movie trivia question for you. Okay. And you're going to get this. I fucking know you're going to get it. I'm sending the answer to you right now over brainwaves. Okay. Have you seen the movie Twister?
Yeah, a long time ago, but yes.
Okay, in the 1996 movie Twister, there's a scene where a tornado destroys a drive-in theater. What movie is being shown at the drive-in theater?
No fucking idea. I
Come
vaguely have a fucking like the tiniest memory of a drive-in getting destroyed. The Shining.
Boom. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I fucking knew you were going to get that.
That's a
Hell
really
yeah.
good guess. We didn't cheat on that either. I legitimately got that.
Well, I was going to give you clues if you couldn't get it, but I knew you were going to get it.
When it destroys it, is it the two girls in the hallway? Is that what's that's really weird that I pulled that out of my memory banks because that was in the 90s I watched that. I have not watched that movie since it came out.
Well, I watched it like 3 days ago. But I think they show the two girls in the hallway, and then later they show when the tornado's actually ripping the screen up, it's him hacking through the door. So I think they were at the drive-in.
The two most iconic. Yeah. They just took the two most iconic parts of it.
Yeah. Because at work on Wednesday, I was saying to the coworker, I wish I just made a little bit more money. And he was like, why don't you get a second job? And I'm like, I've thought about it. And he's like, you'd be a storm chaser. And I'm like, fuck that, dude. So then that night, I'm like, maybe I should watch Twister. So then I watched Twister, The Perfect Storm, and Day After Tomorrow this week. Just watching some disaster movies for the hell of it. But I was like, and when I was watching Twister and that was happening, I was like, that's a good trivia question. I'm going to ask that, and he's going to fucking get it. And you did.
I can't believe I got that. I'm
Nice.
really happy with myself. So have you ever seen or heard the song? I'm going to do a little singing for you because I'm pretty sure the name of the song's Bye Bye, and I can't tell you who it's by. I didn't write that down, but bye 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 my baby bye 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 dun, dun. It's a country song. You know what I'm talking about? I got my left foot on the accelerator and the window mirrors torn her. Bye 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 my baby bye bye.
I feel like I have, but then at the same time I don't think I have.
Okay, so there's a line in it, and it really irritates the living shit out of me. And I think I'm wrong what the actual lyric is, but it sounds just fucking like it. It's an old 90s fucking baby. Oh my god. Anyways, it's I got my left foot on the accelerator and the window mirrors torn off cuz I'm never looking back, and that's a fact. Bye 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 bye, see you later. Got my left foot down on the accelerator and the rear mirrors turned back. Cause I ain't ever looking back, and that's a fact. It's a woman singer. You've definitely heard it. It is a very popular 90s country song. But did you not hear what I just said? Listen to those lyrics. I got my left foot down on the accelerator, and the rearview mirror's torn off because I ain't never looking back, and that's a fact. Does that not just drive you insane? Do I need to say it one more time? I got my left foot down on the accelerator and my rearview mirror torn off because I ain't never looking back, and that's a fact.
Nah, it's not that bad.
What
don't like
foot
it?
do you put on your accelerator?
Oh, the right foot. Why wouldn't
Is
she
that
say
not-
that?
I don't know, but it's so irritating. And it irritated the shit out of me. And then I was talking to my girlfriend, and because she's a huge country music fan, and I'm like, why would you say that? And she's like, oh my God, I thought the same thing. But she's like, that's not the lyric. I'm like, dude, that is the lyric. I was like, that's exactly what it says. And she's like, no, it's lead foot down on my accelerator.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I was in the car pissed. I'm like, how did this get through like all the like, you know what I mean? You got to think all the steps a song has to go through before it actually gets recorded and put on something. Someone heard it, and no one around, no guitar player was just like, it's your right foot that's on the accelerator, right? Like,
Stupid. I agree with you. That's stupid. But lead foot.
makes more sense. But that leads me into the next part, and I don't know what's happening to me right now. But it happens to me every once in a while.
Can you see me?
I just get. You actually came back on the screen now, but now you're about every 10 seconds clips.
What the fuck? Okay.
Clips.
Sorry.
Is what it is. I'm just not looking at you anymore. Dude, I just get so sick of music. I just get sick of genres. I feel like I get stuck in a genre of music, and like indie was like the thing forever. I just am so sick of indie songs. I've heard the Shins or Modest Mouse or fucking, just all these bands. I've heard the same fucking songs over and over and over. And then same with like Zeppelin. I just don't even want to hear Zeppelin anymore. It's just, I've heard fucking Whole Lot of Love so many times. It's not exciting to hear the song. And I'll never do rap because maybe I will. But dude, I don't know what happened to me, but I just put on 90s country the other day, and I was happy as a fucking clam. I was like, these are great songs. I was like, these are all just great fucking songs. And it's just 90s. I fucking hate new country because it's always on the radio when I get in my truck. My girl always has country music on, and I just listen to new country, and I'm like, this is fucking god awful. But my girlfriend was actually pretty surprised over the last week because she knows, she's a country person. Fucking, I know all the words to all those songs, all those 90s songs. I'm like, she'd be like looking at me like, how are you singing like all the lyrics to all these songs? I'm like, but then it was like, I was trying to explain to her. I was having this thought process. I'm like, look, in the 90s, country was different. Like, it was so much bigger in the 90s than it is today. Like, and she's like, no, that's not true. And I'm like, no. Garth Brooks and Dunn, Alabama, George Strait, or whatever. Like, there was like 15, 20 acts that were just, they were gods. They were so big. Fucking Garth Brooks was fucking huge in the 90s. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I feel like country was just different in the 90s. And then that brought me like arguing, or, just having the conversation with her was, what happened to country music? What, it hit the 90s, and they were just putting out such good songs. And then why can't they make songs like that anymore? Like, why aren't country artists like trying to go back?
Well, some of them
and write like a good pop country song, like a good sing along country song. Like that new song, it's a good song, but it's just an irritating song. That George Tennessee whiskey and strawberry wine.
Yeah, Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, that's being played everywhere, and it's like, okay, it's a decent song, but to me, I listen to that song.
For one thing, that song's 4 years old. But okay.
Still new country.
Okay, yeah.
Wouldn't you say that's new country? It's in the 4 years old. Yeah. Okay, but it's new country.
Yeah, and that's a good song.
It's an okay song. But when you set that up to, but I guess even in the 90s, I don't know, like set that song next to like a soulful song in the 90s, like what's the song about? Oh, God damn it. See, I haven't listened to enough to like get shit right off the top of the head. But like the song in the 90s about
Walking in Memphis.
Don't take the girl. Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing.
Oh, Jesus.
When he was 8 years old. It was like, I don't know. To me, that's a better song than that Chris Stapleton song. That Chris Stapleton song, I just feel like what he is doing is Chris Stapleton. Again, I don't know shit about this guy. I haven't listened to very much. I said this to my girlfriend, and she was not happy with me saying this. I was like, when I hear that song, all I can think is I can picture him a year before he wrote that song, or picture him a time before that song had solidified into a song. And he's like sitting there with a guitar and maybe a friend, and they're like, what can we write that it has nothing to do with music? Like, I don't even care about the music or the jam session we're about to have. What can we write that's going to be a number one hit? And what are sucker fucking country fans going to be into? It's like, we need to talk about some whiskey. Definitely get some whiskey. And like, and I don't know. It's like sappy and corny to me. It's just, I don't know. I hear that song and it's a good song. There's nothing bad about the song. It's just, I feel like they're patronizing you with that song. Just like, yeah, this is what you want us to talk about. Fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But then you hear like fucking some I'm an Indian outlaw, half Cherokee and Choctaw. My baby, she's a Chickasaw. Whoa, she's one of a kind. It's like, fuck. Why has the song not been like written like that in so long? It's such a classic song. It's fucking perfect. It's like happy, fucking upbeat, like da 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 da. Yeah. Great fucking country song. And then you turn on the country radio station, and all you hear is just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened. I mean, I'm sure you're right about the country songs 90% of the time. I don't know if that's what happened with Tennessee Whiskey. Maybe. Who knows? I don't think
where
that
they're
necessarily
just
makes
writing
it a
it.
bad song.
You're saying 90% of the time that they're just writing it to...
Yeah.
Like, it has nothing to do with art or anything. It's just like, what can we do that is going to be a radio hit?
Yeah, right now, probably 90% of the time. Yeah. I don't know what happened. I mean, for sure I always remember in the 90s, I was probably like 97, 98, where I was at my friend's house, huge hardcore Mormon family, and in their pictures on this like bookshelf of pictures of all their families and stuff, they had like a framed little picture of Garth Brooks next to everybody. And I was just what the fuck?
Maybe when I'm talking to Cheyenne and I'm like, no, you don't understand how big country was in the 90s. Like, because in my memory, country was fucking huge in the 90s. Like,
yeah,
just those songs that were coming out, and the lightning strikes and the thunder rolls, was just like godly. No pop or rap group was even coming close to the numbers they were putting on the board. You know, it's just Jesus Christ, that is a mega hit.
Yeah.
Fucking, but maybe... It's funny that you just said that because I come from a crazy Mormon family. Yeah. And back in the 90s, we were hardcore Mormon, and it was all country being played in our house. We had all those albums. Like,
that's so weird.
It's funny, is I'm going through Pandora, I'm like, it's nostalgia, the album art. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I remember all these CDs from when I was a kid, like all the Garth Brooks one, all the checkered stuff he does on all of his albums. It's like, fuck, I remember that album, all the Reba McEntire and fucking... And then that's another thing. I think in the 90s, women were making fucking amazing music, like the... Man, I feel like a woman. Dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun. It's like, God damn it, women were making fucking amazing music in the 90s.
Yeah, and whatever Shania Twain CD that was, when I was in first grade... in Sandpoint, that's all my teacher played in the classroom, like really loud, was this one Shania Twain CD over and over and over. And that was probably like 1999. And literally that's what I associate Shania Twain with for the rest of my life, is hearing it when I was in first grade class. That's all she fucking played. Really loudly. When like it was time to like, do a project or something, she's just like, fucking crank this shit. And it's like the same CD.
Feeling all right.
My God.
Dun, 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 dun. Is that who that is? That's Shania Twain?
Yeah, dude. Yes. I remember it from
Either way, dude, I've talked so much shit about country, and a few months ago I would have been like, fuck that. But dude, I'm having the time of my life listening to 90s country
Dude,
hits.
I hear you. Look, I'm on a daily basis at this point in my life, in the last few weeks, I'm running out of shit to listen to. at a rapid pace. And I'm so tempted to just go back to that, because every year there's like 2 or 3 months I just do straight country until it's out of my system. And I'm like fighting the urge right now not to start that phase.
I'm having so much fun, but the weird thing I notice is all the other different genres of music, if I'm in the car listening to the music and I have the window rolled down smoking a cigarette, I'm fine. When I'm listening to country music, I pull up to a stoplight and I have to turn the music down because I'm like, they can't hear me listening to this. This is a secret. It's a secret. You guys can't know that I'm jamming to fucking Shania Twain right now.
Well, there's a lot of stuff I listen to that I need to turn it down. But, I mean, I'm sure hip-hop had something to do with killing it. Early 2000s, Eminem, 50 Cent. I don't know. Maybe the kids just went to that, and now the kids are all 30 years old like us, and it's just dead now. I don't know.
You know what the problem probably is the same thing I was just saying with the Chris Stapleton thing. And I would, this is a new thought, kind of, but I would argue that this is probably true. I bet you in the country music industry, labels and shit have way more control than other genres of music, because other genres are starting to break through into making their own money. You know what I mean? In different ways, whether it be YouTube or social media and shit like that. But I feel like country people are probably the lowest on the last people to probably embrace self-promotion. You know what I mean? Like making their own money. So I bet you the reason country, this is going to be my assumption, the reason most country music sucks ass is because it's not the artists themselves actually making the music and pushing it. It's the bigwigs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, this is going to sell. We're pushing this. This is what they want to hear. You know what I mean? And that's why it sucks, is because it's someone that is a fucking businessman, not a fucking musician.
Yeah, I think that's a very good chance that that's the case.
Whereas, like, who in the country music business, I could totally be talking about out of my ass. But it's like, look at like Justin Bieber or something like that. You know what I mean? Wouldn't he be the total argument on the opposite side of like a complete self-made person, right? Isn't that his whole story? Like, he was
just
a
discovered
YouTube guy,
off YouTube,
wasn't he?
Just discovered off YouTube, and he was like 9 or something.
But wasn't he like pretty big on you, like doing pretty good?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I thought that was the deal. Is like he was actually had a successful YouTube account.
He might have.
That was blowing up.
Yeah, he might have. I mean, just some little Canadian weirdo. And then he had deals on the table from Justin Timberlake and from Usher, and he had to make a decision who's he going to go with, Justin Timberlake or Usher.
And who'd he go with?
Usher.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, weird. Yeah, I think that's true. That's definitely true about the labels. Because whenever I think, if you were to put all the top country acts right now, like on a stage together, stand side by side, to me, what I'm looking at is 50 different copies of each other of the same exact thing. You know what I mean? They're all the same. Yeah. So it's like, and they all swap songs around. Like, oh, that song was written by that guy who gave it to that guy, and then that guy wrote a song for her, and she wrote a song for that guy. And it's like you hear about all these. They're all writing songs for each other, and whatever, all this kind of weird shit. So I don't know. Hip hop.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the country music, when you click on the song, so much of it is ghostwriters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like studio musicians that wrote the songs and they sell it to that. Which when you're in that, that would just solidify the argument that it's all music industry based, not art based. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's when you look up a fucking Van Halen album, unless they're covering a song deliberately, they wrote the song. You know what I mean? They're not, even big bands, they'll take music, but not like country music. Which brings me to another thing. It just popped in my head. It was a whole conversation, which really weirded me out. Is when I was working, we had country music playing, and I'm singing the song. Oh my God, I'm singing you'll get it as this conversation goes along. But I'm singing the song, and then this other dude's like, "Oh yeah, it's this band, and it's this old R&B band," and I'm like, "No, that's a country song." And he's like, "No, it's not. That's an R&B song." And then he tripped me up, and I'm like, "Wait." I was like, I could have swore just a few minutes ago I heard that song playing on the country station. Like, what the fuck? and then do you know what song I'm talking about? There was, and then I ended up looking up all the Wikipedia shit on it. God damn it! Why can't I think of the name of that song? It was a huge song in 1994, and it was covered by an R&B band, like not All for One. Was that the name of the band? All for One. Does that sound right?
No.
Oh my god! Fuck!
God damn it!
Ah, god damn it! But what's crazy, dude? It was huge a song, and it was 1994. It was a massive, massive, massive song. And then I looked up, I was like, wait, who originally wrote that song? Because then I found out that both bands covered the song. I was like, oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. What's nutty about it is it was released at the same year, and it was written by a ghostwriter for the country guy, but the R&B band covered it in the same year, and they both were like #1 platinum hits. It was just really weird. It was like,
that's really weird. That's like the guy Darius Rucker covering Wagon Wheel,
which irritates the shit out of me. I can't stand that.
I don't. It doesn't irritate me. I have it on the playlist. I don't know, man. It's interesting stuff. Here you go, talking all this shit about country music, and then you just flip flop. Talking all this shit about Democrats and you used to be one. Just did day by day, I guess. So you're going to be a football fan. You're going to be like, yeah, fucking Chargers, let's go. And then it's going to be like, dude, didn't you talk all this shit about fucking football? It's going to happen. Watch. You're going to become like a hardcore baseball fan.
Oh, dude, that's going to drive me fucking insane, that song. Sorry.
Don't worry. I know how it goes. It's like me trying to think of the name of a fucking actor.
No, because that was a good. What irritates me is that was a good bit, and it was a good like information. There was the insanity of a song being released by two different bands in the same year, which is just insane. How did they do that? How did the R&B band fucking, dude? And you know the song. It was the biggest song in 1994.
Well, I was 3 then, so I wasn't exactly fucking.
But even when you grew up in the late 90s, it was still a massive fucking song.
What I didn't know is that when I watched The Perfect Storm, Karen Allen's in The Perfect Storm in like this tiny little role, and I was like, oh, that's what I love finding, is little fucking Easter eggs like that. It's really enjoyable.
Oh, I hate No, I don't know who you're talking about right now.
Karen Allen, she was the girl in Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think her name was Marion or something in Raiders of the Lost Ark. The girl in Raiders of the Lost Ark, you've seen Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but that's the least Indiana Jones I've ever watched. I don't know. Everyone says that that's the best one, I think. And
It is the best one.
I don't like that movie. I think everyone
like
disagrees with me, but I think the not Temple of Doom, but the other one is I've always loved that movie. That just so much Nazi stuff going on. I fucking love it.
Yeah, you do.
The Last Crusade.
Yeah. Yeah, you fucking love The Last Crusade. Don't worry.
I'm done.
Write it down for next week. Can you see me?
Well, no, what's making me mad, I bet someone's listening and they're yelling. They're just like, it's fucking got it out, you fucking idiot. Like,
the guy that wrote the song Redneck Yacht Club for an artist named Craig Morgan. Redneck Yacht Club. That guy lives on Colburn Culver in Sandpoint. The guy who wrote it.
Oh, huh.
Yeah, interesting little fact there. He's got a cool little music studio set up, and he still makes music and stuff.
We're getting to the bottom of this.
What are you doing? You
Babe?
know the song? Oh.
Yeah?
Okay, you're on the podcast. What was the song the other day that was the R&B song and also the country song?
Oh, crap. Oh my god, I can't remember it.
Oh my god.
Okay, if you
I don't know.
if you ask, text me. Ask your mom about an R&B song that was super popular, but was also covered by a country artist in 1994. Or it was 96.
You idiots can't even remember an artist.
Okay, I'll ask.
What?
I'll text you.
Okay.
I'll ask and I'll text you.
Okay. Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
You guys can't even remember an artist's name of either of the two artists. You have
I don't
nothing-
fucking listen to country music. I don't know any of their name. And honestly, listening to 90s country, it's really hard to tell the difference between the singers. Really fucking hard. I'm like, is this fucking Garth Brooks? I was like, I don't know. This might be one of the other guys.
Jesus.
Okay, I got one more thing on this list.
Can you see me yet?
Yeah, now it's great. It just switched about a minute ago. Like right when I called her, your video switched over. I was driving in the car the other day. I take the little one, Aurora. It's just me and her in the car. And I was going to the bank. I'm going to the bank, and I'm driving through a parking lot, and I see a fucking smoke show on the side of the road. Like, so fucking hot. So good looking walking down the street. And I totally forget Aurora's in the car. Like, and I do it a lot. I have a real problem with forgetting that she's sitting right behind me, and I start feeling like I'm alone in the car. And it has come to bite me in the ass probably 5 times, to where something comes out of my mouth, and then she's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, fucking, I forgot you were back there. I should have been saying that. But yeah,
Jesus.
I said something just like, damn, that I don't know, something like that. I was like, Jesus Christ. And I'm just staring at this girl and then she's like, "What, daddy?" And I'm like, oh, the sign over there was really fucking I do that, and then the road rage too. I forget she's in the car, and like someone I talk a lot. Like I'll talk to myself a lot, and I'll be in the car and just be like, "Oh, this fucking faggot over here," and then, "Oh shit, I can't fucking say that." Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh my god. You shouldn't be saying that anyway.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Brad.
Don't forget about your kids in the back seat.
Yeah.
You should put a sticky note on your fucking horn or something.
I just thought that was funny.
I do not want to get my car fixed again. Son of a bitch. I can't believe she hit me.
Yeah, that sucks, buddy.
Did she text you?
I don't know. I'm checking right now.
I'm so stoked for football. It's not even funny.
No, there's not a lot. What? You're stoked for football?
Yeah, the first game's on Thursday. And this Tampa trip honestly feels like it's coming up quick as fuck. I am not ready for that shit. I mean, I'm fully vaxxed and fully waxed, but I'm not ready for how soon it feels like it's coming.
Dude, I'll take your spot if you don't want to go.
No, I want to go.
Sounds fun. I need to go to a football game.
You need to go on vacation somewhere other than Sandpoint.
It's just a lot more expensive when you go vacation somewhere else.
So you got the money?
I don't got the money. I don't know why you keep saying that. You're the one with all the fucking money bags.
I don't have any
money. Selling your fucking crypto you've been fucking stacking away.
Well, when it gets this high, you got to do something. It's not easy. Believe me, I'm suffering. No.
Money bags. I got fucking kids, son. I ain't got no money. I'm broke.
You got money.
Those little fucking vampires running all over the place, sucking me dry.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, I don't.
Well, thank you guys. Where are we at? Oh, that was a good episode. About 2 hours.
50. Yeah.
Well, episode 66 in the book. Sorry I trailed off so hard there at the end. I hate when I'm trying to think of something and I can't fucking think of it. It drives me insane. And I guarantee the second I hit that fucking off record button, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, that's the goddamn song.
Great.
I know. Episode 66 in the book. I'm Eric. That's Brad. I haven't been saying this recently, but please like and subscribe. The subscription means a lot. We're doing okay. You know, we're not putting major numbers out there, but I honestly get surprised when it's over 20. You know what I mean? Fucking like, hell yeah. Fuck yeah, good job. You know, real quick tidbit is it's fucking weird to talk to people that listen to the show and you like forget about it. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh shit, you know a lot more about me, you know what I mean, than I know about you, kind of.
Yeah. It happens to me. I had someone had some feedback on saying that you had a terrible answer to my who's paying for dinner question.
That's bullshit. I had a great answer to that. Okay.
So I had that whole conversation, but yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Episode 66 in the book. Yeah, please like, subscribe, tell your neighbors about it, especially Janice, that fucking bitch across the street. Tell her all about it.
If you want a sticker, send us an email. I'll send you a free sticker.
Yeah, beat the Eric, or wait, what is it? Erick and Brad show at gmail.com or Erick and Brad
Erick
show?
and Brad show at gmail.com.
Yeah, Erick and Brad show at gmail.com. That's ERICK. We love you guys. Episode 66 in the book. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye. Dude, what's fucked is once we started talking about that song, is Johnny's Daddy Taking Him Fishing was just stuck in my head. That's all that could play in my head. I'd be like,
yeah,
play a song, and it'd be like, Johnny's Daddy was taking him. I'm like, no, fucking stop playing that song, and the fucking just like hit pause. Next song. Fucking. I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there for better or worse, till death do us part. I'll love you with every beat of my heart, and I swear. Nothing?
That's the song?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. We should probably leave this part in the show.
I know. We haven't stopped the episode yet. We're coming back
God
strong.
Damn it.
Fucking.
And I've only heard the R&B. I've only heard the R&B version.
You have 100% heard the, and I swear by the moon and the stars and this. So that was what was crazy to me is I brought that. Somehow we ended up on that topic with my girl, and I'm like, blah 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 blah, and I told her about the conversation we were having at work, and she's like, what? She's like, R&B, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, you never heard that? Like, I swear,
yeah,
by the moon. And I was like, it's a little lighter, more, it's R&B. It's a little more like love-making music. But the country version's a little like more like, I love you. Not like, let's make babies, you know?
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of babies that have been made to that. That's arguably one of the most popular R&B songs of all time.
So it's insane when I read it. It's not written by either of them. It was written by a ghostwriter, a country music guy. I don't remember the guy's name, but he's written a bunch of music for a bunch of country artists. But he wrote that in 94, and in the same year, the fucking next band. So here, let's look up the bands of I Swear.
Boyz II Men.
Is it Boyz II Men?
Yes, from Philadelphia, I believe.
All for One. Fuck, I was so close to that. What did I say? Did I say all? I said All for One, didn't I?
I don't know.
I said All for One. Fuck it. And then it's John Michael Montgomery. That's why I was thinking Clint Black or something like that, but John Michael Montgomery sang it first. I wish we didn't have YouTube restrictions so I could just play the song. Do you think if I played the song over the phone, we'd still get flagged? Like if I just played a second of it? Because I know you've heard it.
Yeah. I think I've heard it. Don't play it. I don't want to get flagged. I don't even want to try. Sorry.
When we're done with the episode, fucking just look it up, George Michael Montgomery, or whatever that was, and and you'll play it and be like, oh yeah, of course I've heard this. It was huge, both those songs, and I don't know, I just kind of forgot that it was two different songs.
I can see
and then
how
it was
that
weird,
happens.
and then it was weird talking to someone that didn't know the R&B version, and I'm like, what? you've never heard. And I swear, I was like, that was huge. That was on like shitload of movies. Fucking
Yeah. Oh yeah.
okay. Episode 66. Now we're gonna say goodbye. Okay, bye bye. Bye bye.
Like I'm at the tippy top of my game, looking down at the rafters. I had to son these boys, can't leave them bastards. A lot of dudes, just some undercover actors. I don't fall for it, I'm privy to all your tactics. Yeah, so try again, this time take a vitamin. Yeah, invite them in, welcome to the lion's den. And I'm Mufasa, big boss in charge of coming in like a bull. You see me raising the stock up, yeah. So baby, you gon' need some patience. I already won, now I'm just making a statement, Damn, baby, why your mans keep hating? You asking about the cake, you here for the celebrations. And I ain't fishing, I ain't really into baiting. I know they all wish I take away they maiden, but sorry I'm taking me and my lady mating. She look me in the eyes and tell me how much she loving on my confidence, yeah. It really shouldn't be no arguments, cause you're now viewing the greatest of all time, saying I can't get better, I promise they all lying on my confidence. Yeah, that's right. Look, I think it's time you start using your common sense. Everybody watch out, cause the bomb is lit. I got that confidence, that's right. Confidence, yeah, confidence. That's me. Hold up. Yeah. I'm sorry if I stutter. Yeah, my brain move a little faster than others. Yeah, I even keep a close eye on my brothers, cause sometimes it's your blood that turn into blood suckers. Yeah. And I'm on a big mission. My whole team got a plate up in the kitchen. Yeah, I'm talking everything. I make all the fixings. Yeah, they come a long way from where they come up missing. I blame it on my confidence. Yeah, promise I'm really this astonishing. And yeah, you're now viewing the greatest of all time. No need for thank yous. The pleasure is all mine. That's my confidence. Yeah, that's right. No downplaying my accomplishments. You call me arrogant, I take it as a compliment. I got that